We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. That's why I kicked your leg out from underneath your leg. No, that actually happened. Hello, everyone. We are back with the very first video of 2022. And it's not a fanfiction.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, brothers. Because we gotta do all the brothers. Brother. Oh, yeah. So, we're back at it. Not doing a fanfiction review because that's not until next week. But I wanted to do this because it's been a while since we did one of these. This is what is this? Our fifth episode? Sixth episode? I don't know. Of the fanfiction. Not fanfiction. I want to other things.
Yes, we're doing fanfiction about Link monsters.
Fanfiction about Link monsters.
Will Link Spider and Link Haribo finally get together?
Or will the new Sylvan Link interrupt their relationship? Okay, so this episode we have a special theme. We have all the Gokeys, well, except for Giant Ogre. We already did that last episode. And this guy's here too. So you want to?
I'm a Gokey too.
I'm a Gokey too.
I just bring a gun to wrestling.
Oh god, I gotta actually show you that picture of what happened of a GIF I saw from Japan. Where a guy had another wrestler had another guy up like in a chokehold, and then he reached into his boxers and pulled out like a fake gun, and everyone's like freaking out, like, oh!
That's hilarious.
And then another wrestler is like, the guy he's wrestling, he's like, starts to come towards him, and then he comically points the gun at him, like, yeah, and he everything's just over the top. But then again, that's Japan for you. When they had a wrestle.
Hold on.
So you want to do Max first? Or you want to do Max last?
I don't have any preferences.
Okay, we'll do Max first, and then we'll do the rest with the Gokeys. So this guy, Magical Musketeer Max. He's a light fiend monster. $1 attack points. His arrow is south. He requires 1 level 8 or lower Magical Musketeer monster. I forgot what what was their TCG game again? Oh, Magic Bullet. No, not Magic Bullet. Was it Magic Bullet? I don't know.
Magic Bullet.
I believe it was Magic Bullet. If this card is Link Summon, you can activate one of these effects. Add Magical Musket spell traps with different names from your deck to your hand up to the number of monsters your opponent controls. Or special summon Magical Musket monsters with different names from your deck up to the number of spells and traps your opponent holds. You can only use this effect on Magical Musketeer Max once per turn. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spell traps from your hands. This is really a band-aid over... In my opinion, this is like a band-aid over the entire archetype.
Archetype, this would be busted. This would be their rat peer, but in this is just kind of sad.
It's sad. It's like, it doesn't do anything when the spells and traps activate, like everything else.
It just pluses you up front, and then it's like, okay.
Then it's like, what do you do now? Like, what do you do now? It's like, I don't know. Yeah. You're just there, like, let me just attack you then. It's like, okay. Like, imagine, like, does anyone remember, do you remember when these things were first announced? And everyone was, like, proclaiming they're gonna be, like, tier 0. And then they actually came out.
Still fun, though.
Yeah, they're still fun. It's just, I just find it hilarious that, like, these were, like, the most underwhelming... This was, like, the most underwhelming archetype in years before Warrocks came out.
Hey, Warrocks aren't underwhelming. They're just bad.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, hey, we're getting cavemen. It's like, then it's like, this is just literally just caveman Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, that's their point! Meanwhile, this thing is like, oh, you can play any of their archetypal spells and traps during either player's turn from your hand. Except they're just so underwhelming. They're just so. I think Magical Musketeers is like one of the few archetypes that really didn't need once per turn on them. It's specifically just the spells and traps. I think just not making some of them spell once per turn would have been a huge boon. Still wouldn't have made the archetype any good because they can't swarm worth a damn, and they have like no protection outside of Desperado. But it's fine. Would have helped.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea what is needed in order to fix Magical Musketeers. I haven't played them enough.
I played,
yeah.
Crusader played them. Crusader plays them.
Yeah, he beat me with them, actually.
The main problem is they're really hampered by the once per turn restrictions. I think it's like one of the few decks that really didn't need the once per turns. Because they can't really swarm that well. They have no protection. They just can't really do anything by themselves.
Give them an Xyz monster.
I would have said just give them something to like help like any sort of protection.
Yeah, that's the Xyz monster.
Is your answer to everything going to be an Xyz monster?
No.
Is it? Alright.
I mean, maybe Gokey's need an Xyz monster?
The fuck does Gokey's need an Xyz monster? They're a link deck. It's like, here's a random Xyz imitating the Undertaker. Have fun. So where would you put this? Because this is like the only way you're going to actually get like a lot of pluses. But it's entirely dependent on what your opponent has on the field. It's so dependent on that.
My gut is telling me to put it in like middle of B tier.
How so?
Because its effect is really good, and it's a Link 1. Link 1s are good on principle. It's just the archetype that it belongs to is so bad.
I would put it just under Crossroads because the effect is still good. Like I don't disagree with you on that. It's just this effect entirely relies on what your opponent has on the field to do anything.
Where would you put it?
Just under Crossroads. Which is at the top of C.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah, just put it under Crossroads.
Because like I said, I do agree. I just honestly think that restriction of having, literally forcing yourself to go second, is just really bad.
Of this.
Yeah, I think that just hampers it enough to kind of kick it out of B. If not for that, then I would agree and say yeah, put it in B because that's fine. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. Let's get to the main event. The wrestlers. Okay, so we got 9 guys here. We already did Andre last video. Who do you want to do first? We got
I say in ascending order.
Okay, so we'll do it in okay. We'll do Destroy Ogre first. I can't remember who this guy was.
No, I said ascending order, not alphabetical order.
Oh, okay. So just the linked. There's the two links twos. All right. So first off, let's do Jet Ogre. Do you know who Jet Ogre is based off? Oh wait, you don't really know wrestling, so you wouldn't really know.
Nope. I have no idea what wrestling is.
I mean, I kind of talked to you about wrestling.
Yeah, a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah, it's true. The Jet Ogre is actually based off Ric Flair.
Okay.
You don't know who Ric Flair is. He's a really...
I have heard of him, but I don't know any of his shticks or gimmicks or something.
He was basically what's called the dirtiest player in the game. So it's a guy. He was basically a heel who would just always cheat, and even as when he was a good guy, he would cheat. He's like, I'm Ric Flair. It's like, I don't care. I'm gonna cheat anyway.
Okay.
It's like, okay. And he was like, he like perfected like the rich boys. Like, oh boy, he was really entertaining. Like, he did a shtick where like people would slap him in the corner, and then he just surge out of the corner, acting all mad, and then he just faints. Yeah. And he did like the figure four leg lock. He created the Four Horsemen, which are like one of the greatest wrestling stables of all time. Yeah. So let's see. What is Jet Ogre 2? He's all Earth Warrior. They're all Earth Warriors. Link arrows are west and south. 2,000 attack points. He requires specifically 2 Gokey monsters. One per turn. You can target 1 Gokey card you control, destroy it, and if you do, change all monsters on the field to face-up attack position. If this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can make all Gokey monsters you currently control gain 500 attack until the end of this turn. You can only use an effect of Gouki Jet Ogre once per turn.
That doesn't seem too good to me.
The thing is, a lot of people still use it because they mainly use it as like a link climbing tool. Especially if they're going into Giant Ogre, so they give Giant Ogre some extra attack points. So that way it can still kind of reset. And he's still kind of be protected a little bit. He's just mainly... He's just... Yeah, sorry about that. We had some like weird technical difficulties with Discord. So just ignore it. So yeah, back to Jet Ogre. Like they mainly use them for like link climbing or comboing off because if you pop any of the Gokey cards, they float because all their effects say that if they leave the field in any way, then you get to search a card. Or any Gokey card. And none of those are once per turn.
Oh boy.
So yeah, they float if they leave the field for like a link summon. They leave the float by like being destroyed by battle or card effect, even their own card effect. They float. So it's like popping your own card. If it's specifically like a monster, it's still a big deal for Gokeys.
Alright, then I would put this card in, like, B tier.
I would say mid to low B tier. Because he's not...
Yeah.
Because honestly, the side effect is kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
It fits the Gokey's theme of like, here's... Oh. Also, I decided to, like, look up the... the link, who each Gokey is based off of. According to the wiki, Giant Ogre is not based off Andre the Giant. He's based off some guy named Giant Baba. It's like, who's Giant Baba? And
He's Andre the Giant. Moving on.
yeah, he's not. Oh, he's a gigantic. He was a very tall Japanese guy. And Jet Ogre's Tiger Jinx. Okay, so next the other link to it is Heel Ogre. Heel Ogre. Okay. Heel Ogre is based off. Oh, he's just a generic heel. Okay, so Heel Ogre. Link arrows are north and south. 2 Gokey monsters, 1 per turn. When a monster this card points to activates effect. Quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy it. Then special summon 1 Gokey monster from your graveyard except Gokey Heel Ogre. Okay, that's not bad. Again, it's similar.
It's a pretty decent effect.
Yeah, it just requires like it again, just like Jet Ogre. It doesn't look that good on paper, but then once you realize what Gokeys do, so it's like, oh, you can float into them. So you can float.
Yeah, negate one of your own monster effects.
Pop
use
it.
the floating, and then special summon another combo piece.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just okay. So
I'd say that's just good.
not to mention, like, if your opponent doesn't read, you can literally just negate it too. That'd be funny. It's like I summon Scrap Raptor in attack mode to this thing's arrow unknowingly. And I activate his effect to search Scrap Factory. It's like negate. It's like, wait, what?
Just scream negate at your opponent.
Negate!
So yeah, put it a bit above Jet Ogre.
Yeah, okay, so, like, above Mistar Boy? Maybe?
Yeah, put it above Miss Starboy.
Mistar Boy.
He's our baby face.
He's our baby. Mistar Boy. Mistar Boy. Ready to do the flashback. Here comes Heel Ogre with the steel chair to the back. Well, let's see.
Now he gets to add a water monster from grave to hand.
No, he gets a buddy to turn this into a tag team match.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Link 3s. Okay, so we got Gokey Blade Ogre. Let's see. Where is he? Right here. Gokey Blade Ogre is actually based off blading. You do know what blading is, right? Tell me you at least know what blading is.
Oh.
Okay. So what blading is basically the act of basically intentionally cutting yourself open to basically let yourself bleed, mostly from the head. It was used to increase tension in a match if it's like needed it. And so how people would do it is they would actually like hide razor blades in their wrist tape or somewhere on their body. And so when they're about to do a particularly hard head, they would just block their head, nick their head, and just have the bleeding start. It's really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Seems dangerous.
It is, because there is a risk that you can nick an artery. Like, I know in 2004 there was a match between JBL, who was like a Texan wrestler who was like very like stock market type, and then he was wrestling a guy named Eddie Guerrero, who's basically like a modern day Ric Flair, where he like, even as a good guy, he would cheat and steal because he's like, it's like, hey, I may cheat and lie and try and swindle my way into all these opportunities, but at least I'm honest about it. And they had a match, I believe it was at Great American Bash 2004, I believe, where Eddie Guerrero went to blade, but he accidentally nicked an artery, and he was drenching, and he was actually pouring a lot of blood. He actually, I believe he actually went into shock after the match for how much blood he bled.
Did he make it?
He lived, but he died about a year later from complications from steroid use.
Oh.
Yeah. Like even though he was clean around that time, his body was still stressed out from having to use steroids for so long that even as clean, his body just couldn't take it after a while.
Huh.
Yeah. Everyone kind of
depressing.
Yeah. Wrestling is like that sometimes. So Gokey the Blade Ogre, his arrows are north, south, and southwest. He is 2400. He requires 2+ Gokey monsters. Gains 300 attack for each monster it points to. Once per turn, you contribute 1 monster this card points to on either field. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase's turn. So, you potentially have a 3000 beat stick, because this is usually the guy they use Jet Ogre to go into, so that way he has like a baseline 2900. And then he can contribute a monster on either field he can point to. So he has some spot removal. Not good spot removal because...
Yeah.
Because it has to be specifically a monster he points to.
And if your opponent is intelligent enough, they're not going to follow. But then again, we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh players.
We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
They
They don't know how to read, and then Konami's like, we're gonna make a card that completely abuses this meme, and then they made the new Fable Synchro, which is like the most hilarious thing ever. It's like, I get to draw 2, I'm gonna play summon Ash Blossom. It's like, okay, I'll just take your Ash Blossom then. It's like, wait, what? Are you gonna do what? Tanuki Lolly.
Is this card better than Heel Ogre at this point?
Not really, because he's mainly used as like a prototype boss monster. He basically acts like more like a stopgap between like the Link 4 ones. But they use them but I still see like once in a while Gokey decks still use them, and like as a backup boss monster, like they actually need like the extra damage to go into him.
So
I will put him bottom of B tier. Like very bottom of B tier.
I would put him high C tier.
Alright. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Where? Do you want to put him above Crossroads?
Yeah, above Crossroads, just at the very top.
Okay. Oh, you doing? Shut up, I have a girlfriend. Okay, next Link 3. That would be the first Gokey Link monster. Great Ogre. I believe he's actually no. Yeah. Great Ogre is based off the Great Sasuke, who's like a Japanese luchador sort of thing. It requires 2+ Gokey monsters. He's 2600. South, southwest, and southeast. All monsters on the field lose attack equal to their original defense. If this card will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one of your monsters as card points to it instead. Similar to Blade Ogre, like he's really just used as like a backup boss monster. Although I see him less. I see him less than
Blade Ogre.
Yeah, but oddly enough, I see him less than Blade Ogre. I see Blade Ogre used more than Great Ogre.
I think it's just because Blade Ogre has like a better baseline attack stat, whereas this card is better for just getting rid of cards because.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I summon Regeki. It's like, okay, I'll just float. I'll just tribute a Gokey and make him float.
He has better protection and better removal, but
yeah, but he only removes your own monsters. But again, that goes into the whole Heel Ogre, Jet Ogre. It's like, oh, you destroy your own monsters? Okay, they float. Okay.
Yeah. I'd put this card above, but only just slightly.
So
like at the very bottom of C tier.
Bottom of B tier or top of C tier?
B tier, sorry.
Yeah, very bottom of... Okay. So, let's see. And we got... Who's next? Okay. Then we got Gokey the Solid Ogre. Oh, this one's easy. This guy's based off The Rock.
Oh.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Like everyone knows who The Rock is. His link arrows are north, south, and west. Weird arrows. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect while it points to a Gokey monster. Once per turn as a quick effect, you can target one Gokey monster in your main monster zone, except Gokey the Solid Ogre. Move that monster you control to your main monster zone this card points to.
That's just kind of underwhelming.
I think some of the other Gokey monsters specifically need, like, monsters and arrows.
Yeah, but, like, on a Link 3?
I think it was power...
Like, I don't know how much spam power Gokeys have, but putting that kind of effect on, like, a Link 3 seems a bit... You seem to be a little bit too deep in the combo in order to, you know, go into a Link 3 in order to continue your combos or your plays.
Oh, I think it's mostly used in conjunction with Master Ogre.
Okay.
But then, again, it's, like, completely underwhelming.
And it only gives itself the protection.
I mean, that makes sense for The Rock. He's like the big ego guy. It's like, oh. The Rock says as he pulls with the limo into the arena, he spots some lovely ladies. He says like, oh, down boy. And then he gives himself a big ego boost by saying, no, The Rock can do better.
Alright, so where would you put him?
Don't really know. Like, I honestly think he's probably the weakest, but I really don't know what to do. Outside of Master Ogre, I don't really know what you do with him. Like, okay, maybe you can put him, like, maybe you can point him to, like, Blade Ogre, give him another 300 attack. Like, it's fine.
I have no idea what you're supposed to do with him.
Bottom C tier?
Middle.
Middle? Okay, I'll put him, slap in the face, I'll put him below Pincer. It's like you can't see the Pincer. Okay, so we got 4 left. We got the Link 4s left. Okay. First off is Gokey Destroy Ogre. Link 4, 2,800 attack points, 2 plus Gokey monsters. Link arrows are east, west, southeast, southwest. The first time each monster this card points to would be destroyed by battle each turn. It is okay, so maybe you can do that with Destroy Ogre to like give some protection to like certain monsters. Okay. During the main phase, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Gokey monsters. Also, your opponent special summons up to 2 monsters from the graveyard. Then you special summon up to that many Gokey monsters from your graveyard to your zones this card. Yeah, to your zone this card points to, except Link monsters. This is a Link 4 combo. Play Extender. Just like the Dragon, but this one's just way better because of how Gokeys work.
I'd say this goes in like A tier because like it's a double reborn, and unless your opponent has like
Some any way to like prevent it
anything
from
that benefits from a special summon or a revival, they
Yeah.
aren't doing much with that during your turn.
Yeah. Granted, you have to go second with this card. Um. But where
That's right, you have to go
A tier,
or
like
you revive some hand traps, like you revive an Ash Blossom or something.
yeah, but your opponent chooses what he special summons. I mean, it's still good, and the fact that you're locked into Gokey's like, okay, what Gokey deck is going to use not Gokey cards? Oh, tell me when.
I mean, Goki's were the reason why fucking
Nightmares.
What's it?
Nightmares.
No, not Nightmare. That dragon was it? Oh, Triple-Electric Gumbler Dragon was banned. He was abused in Goki's.
I could have sworn it was Nightmares that did that. Because they were like the only deck that would consistently like be able to like spam the U-board link.
Yeah, but Nightmares don't have any main deck monsters, do they?
They have Corruptor Ibly, which prevents you from special summoning except for link monsters, but you have to use her as a link material.
Yeah, but they used I think Goki's were the link spam deck that made Nightmares and Gumblar Dragon.
I'm not 100% sure on Gumblar, but it's fine. Okay.
It doesn't matter, but yeah, I put this guy in A tier.
A tier, like mid A tier.
High B tier.
I would say mid A tier.
Mid A tier, yeah.
Because depending on what, I mean, you probably have to go for this guy as fast as possible. Because, well, if you don't, then you're gonna be tight on extra deck space for your plays.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's good for what he does. Let's see, who's the next one? Master Ogre. Right. Link 4, 2800 attack. Arrows are north, south, southwest, and southeast. 2+ Gokey monsters once per turn. As a quick effect, you can return to the hand any number of Gokey monsters you control that this card points to, then target the same number of face-up cards your opponent controls. They have their effects negated until the end of this turn. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. If your opponent controls a face-up monster, this card can only attack their monster with the highest attack for attacks, your choice if tied. So it can negate up to 3 cards for the rest of the turn.
It has to be face-up cards.
Yeah, so but again, it's face up. But again,
it's kind of like the RDA like hot red.
Okay, yeah.
But you do need to give up field presence in order to do it. So,
I mean, some of their monsters can easily special summon themselves. You have Suprex that can just special summon a I believe Suprex can actually just special summon a monster from the deck, from the hand or deck. Let's see. Where is Suprex? There it is, Suprex. Yeah. If this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 Gouki monster from your hand. Yeah. Like there is like they have ways of like special summoning themselves and a bunch of other stuff. Like where Scorpio can special summon himself, Moonsault can special summon himself, not Ironclaw. Bear, yeah. Like they have ways to. They have ways of like mitigating, like if you do Suprex, then it's like okay, then you plus off 2, and it's a great way to like reuse Suprex ability again.
And the last part of the effect, it can only attack the monster with highest attack, but it can attack all monsters your opponent controls, so...
That's kind of a weird clause. Usually it happens to, like, your opponent can only attack this one. Now it's like, nah, fam.
No,
this guy
can only attack the opponent's monster.
I was saying that, usually when you see this kind of effect, your opponent can only attack this monster, or the monster you control with the highest attack. Not this monster can only attack.
Like your Max.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of neat.
I mean, this is one of the two.
Like, it really gets.
This is one of the two Link monsters. This is like one of the two Link monsters they usually end the board on. This one and Power Load.
Do you know which wrestler this guy is based on?
I think this guy is based off on a Japanese wrestler. Which one? Chris Masters, apparently. Yeah, he was basically like a big guy who was known for like doing full Nelsons. He was just really strong that way. I don't know much about.
Yeah, I think he goes in like bottom A tier.
Bottom A tier. Okay, I'll do with that. Okay, so next up we have Power Load Ogre. There goes the big guy. Power Load Ogre. Let's see, how much time do we have? Okay, we're at 36 minutes. Link arrows, south, southeast, southwest, and east. 2 warrior monsters, 2800 attack. Gains attack equal to the total Link rating of all other Link monsters you control times 200. This Link summoned card is unaffected by other card effects. You contribute 1 Gokey Link monster, then target cards on the field up to that Link monster's Link rating, destroy them. You can only use this effect once per turn.
Okay, so...
Yeah, this is the guy they usually end on. This is the guy they usually end on.
Easy high A tier.
Yeah, this is the reason why they have where is he? Why Solid Ogre exists. Like they put him link him to Power Load, and it's like, okay, now this guy has like over 3,000 attack points. And is unaffected by everything, so good luck with that.
And can pop up to 3.
Pop up to 3. But then that would decrease his attack points.
Yeah.
I would put him near the top of A tier, like below Phantom Quartz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because he's not as ridiculous as Phantom Quartz.
He's not as ridiculous as Phantom Quartz. We got one more card. And we got Oh, I completely forgot that this guy was a Link 3. Thunder Ogre. Right here at the bottom. I completely forgot that this guy was a Link 3. 2200 attack. Arrows are north, southwest, and southeast. 2 Gokey monsters. If a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can make this card gain 400 attack. The turn player applies the following effect while this monster is on the field. During the main phase, they can normal summon 1 monster from their hand to the zone this card points to in addition to their normal summon set. This is another combo piece.
So yeah, destroy your own monsters, search of the floating, and gain an additional normal summon. Yeah.
So like you can combo this with Jet Ogre, point this to thing, have it gain 400, destroy thing, float, combo off even more.
Or use it with Heal Ogre.
Use it with Heal Ogre.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't. Wait, no. How would you?
No.
You couldn't combo this with Heal Ogre.
No, you can't get.
There are no zones.
Oh yeah, you can't. You won't be able to. Plus, it gives you an additional normal summon.
Yeah, which is always nice.
So I would put.
Middle of A tier?
I would put this. I would actually put this below Power Load. Specifically, just for the normal summon. Just below Power Load.
Wait, does it?
Because of the normal summon. Because of the normal summon.
Jesus, Wow, it's just a generic normal summon, not just a normal summon a Gokey.
No, it's just you just normal
that's
summon
powerful.
anything. Granted, your opponent gets to use
You
it
can even
too.
use it to summon an Alistair if you want to.
Yeah. It's like, I summon Thunder Ogre. It's like, what are you gonna do? I summon Alistair! Alistair! With the elbow off the drop.
Normal summon Alistair.
No. Search. Search invocation. No. Now Alistair is gonna do what's called. He's gonna do a Randy Savage elbow drop. And summon the
But
big
then
rock
again,
thing.
all of them are Earth, so
You're only
the
summoning
Earth
the
one,
big.
and the Earth one is.
Just the big beat stick. Which fits the Gokey since they're big. They're basically
it's
like,
pretty much the same.
they're just big beat sticks. Like, we can make ourselves bigger. Yeah! Oh yeah! Dig it!
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 minutes. That's good. That's good time.
Yeah.
You want to decide what you want to pick next time? Before we end it?
Let's do that off stream.
Alright, so...
Off video.
I'm gonna have a field day with this. I'm probably gonna do like what the Mega Powers, Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan, kind of posing with like two of the Gokey heads over them. It's like, brother, brother. Okay, so yeah, we'll end it. We'll end it here.
What's for sure an increased brother.
Increase, brother. And if your opponent doesn't brother with you, you grab a steel chair and you hit him on the back. While shouting, brother! Okay, so so yeah, that's it for right now. We'll see you next time in the next episode.
See you next time.
See you next time.